Hey, welcome back, everyone. It's David Sherry. Today, I want to talk about why tracking progress matters through streaks or habit tracking or some other simple tools that are going to make your life feel a little bit more like it's moving in the right direction. So, if you've been struggling with feeling like you've got so many different ideas, but you're not making progress on any one of them, I believe the fastest way to get past that and get past that impulse of feeling like you're doing a lot but not actually getting anything in particular done. This is going to help you with that entrepreneur feeling of never getting enough done at the end of the day. And I've been a fan of creating streaks in my work since I heard Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian, first talk about it. And he talks about how if you want to be a comedian, the simple idea is that you just have to write jokes every single day and then don't break the chain. So he uses a big calendar and he crosses off every single day that he completes writing jokes. And then once you have enough days in a row, you are inherently not going to want to break that streak. And that's what this is about. And I'm using streaks right now to track my meditation. I'm trying to get to 100 and I'm about 80 sessions in a row. I'm using it to track my workouts and even how much reading I'm getting done every day. Now let's talk about tracking. I used to be really into all the Notion setups and Evernote and the whole second brain and building as much complexity with these intense systems as I could to keep my tracking organized. And today I mostly just use Excel, Apple Notes, and one-off Google Docs. So you can keep things ultra simple, and sometimes we procrastinate actually doing the work that we're hoping to do in the streak because we're trying to set up the system for tracking. So I believe it's better to get the streak going and track it as simply as possible, whether that's paper or your note or whatever. Again, Excel with a date, what you want to get done, and an X to say that I got it done is going to be better than spending all this time researching and figuring out a complex system for how to get things done. Just do it and start building momentum with the streak. Now, it's been really fun for me to start to look at, as I make progress, which streaks are actually important to you. And this is something you're likely to bump up against. Once you start tracking, hey, I'm tracking my reading every day, or I'm tracking my workouts every day, you're going to want to start adding new ones. You're going to want to start changing the metrics that you track. And this is, again, very natural for somebody who's ADD to feel maybe I should track this instead, or I should switch to that. And just remember, every time you start over with a new streak, you're taking some energy away from the streak that you had been building. So you don't want to just keep switching train tracks like that. And that's why it's really important to track the right metrics, knowing what to track and then tracking it while avoiding tracking things that actually don't matter to you. This is the part that could use the most attention, the most work. What apps to use, all that is easy. What should I track? That is the difficult question. And it's difficult because other people are going to have metrics that they want you to track on their behalf. A simple example is going to be social media. Social media will impose certain metrics that are easy for you to track, but just because they're easy for you to track doesn't mean that they're important or meaningful to you. And so for me, I don't really care about likes on social media. I don't really care about followers. What I care about is the number of comments that I get. I like a positive interaction with somebody related to the work that I produced because I think it's a metric that involves connection and actually tells me something. Beast is somebody who's optimized his entire channel around the gaming, basically the YouTube algorithm. And he's the best person in the world at gaming the YouTube algorithm. Because of that, the choices that he makes about what to produce are going to be focused with that end goal in mind. And if you could tell me that this next video I make could get 1 million views, but I'd had to do it in the style of a Mr. Beast video, I would not do that. That's not what I'm tracking. It's not what I care about. And this is a deep practice that we all need to move into to start understanding that there's many metrics that we can follow. Most of them don't actually matter to us. So which metrics matter to you? What are you actually tracking? What actually is important? And there's something else that we need to talk about when it comes to tracking the right metrics, which is it's much more helpful to track the things that we can control. So if we track how our work is received, which again could be likes or even positive comments, we can't control how other people react to our material. We can't control how other people perceive our work. And funny enough, artists like Van Gogh, they were not popular in their era. It was only after death that they became popular. And so, were they good artists? Was he a good artist? Was he not a good artist? The world thinks so now. The world didn't think so then. And putting all of our own sense of success in metrics that we can't control is a recipe for not feeling very good about yourself on a regular basis. So, the best way to feel good when tracking metrics in your life is to track something that's meaningful to you, that you can control, that isn't about how other people receive or perceive you. If you do that, then you can feel good and feel successful when you produce and ship that product, when you actually participate in creating the metric that you want. So it might just be that hitting publish, that's your metric for success. I hit publish today. And I'm just going to build a streak where every day I hit publish. That is worth doing. And that's going to make you feel successful, not just now, but it's probably more likely to make you feel successful in the future as well. Now, I want to share one last thing, which is a quote from a friend of mine that I felt was very impactful for me. And my friend Christy, she said something profound that was a great visual for me to think about, which is she said, we watch athletes and sports stars on TV because they're chasing their dreams. So instead of watching them live their dream, what if you lived yours instead? I thought that was a very profound idea. And so if you find yourself watching other people create their success, tracking and getting in the habit of tracking you taking steps towards your dream is a great way for you to feel confidence that you're actually applying your time and attention in the right way. Because the last little secret here is we enjoy taking steps towards our dream more than actually the achievement related to our dream. You're going to lose the majority of your gains. That's the way the math typically works out. So what's important that you are on the journey, trying your best to improve yourself and win the best you can, but that's not the metric that's most important. What was most important is that you are pursuing your dream day in and day out. And that's why tracking streaks and tracking habits is so helpful and so important. So how do you apply this in your life? Take time to think about 1 or 3 metrics that really matter to you. And don't just go with the default metrics that other people care so much about. Use any system that can work. Use paper, use Apple Notes, or use a spreadsheet. If you can't decide, don't overcomplicate it. Start to celebrate the streaks that you are making. So even 5 days in a row, that's a huge success. And it's going to feel even better when you get to 50. And just remember to not let other people's metrics distract you. Don't get caught up in what they think that it should be important for you to get done. Focus on what you can control and what you feel good about, because having a great day or a bunch of good days right in a row, that's the way to have a great life. Let me know if you have any thoughts or questions. I'll be back again with more like this very soon. Later.